At its height, the Roman Empire stretched for 2 million square miles. Whether you were in what is now Egypt or England, you could find the familiar signs and reassuring order of Roman rule. But after the death of Emperor Marcus Aurelius in AD 180, the Golden Age of Rome, the Pax Romana, ended. For the next 100 years, political and economic turmoil rocked the empire. The imperial system was at the core of the empire's instability. Rome's emperors may have transformed the Roman Republic into a sprawling empire, but their power also led to Rome's eventual downfall. One of the system's biggest problems was that it didn't designate who took over when an emperor died. With no clear line of succession, the imperial system encouraged power struggles every time an emperor died. Intimidation and violence were common ways for a new emperor to gain the throne. But anyone who came to power through violence could leave that way too. Between 235 and 270, Rome had over 40 different emperors. Again and again, emperors were overthrown by ambitious generals who seized power with the support of their troops. Each new emperor would rule for a few months or years if he was lucky, before he too was overthrown. Political violence and instability became commonplace. Yet, for the rich, life in Rome was still good. They lived lives of luxury and privilege. But the gap between rich and poor was huge. While the rich lived in lush houses, the vast majority of Romans lived in dark, smoke-filled tenements. One-third of the population was slaves, whose sweat and labor brought a wealth and splendor to Rome that they could never enjoy. For most Romans, equality and a lavish life were distant dreams, and a source of anger and resentment. The Roman Empire had spread so far that it required an immense military and imperial bureaucracy. Taxes rose, inflation spiraled out of control, and the people in the provinces began questioning the benefits of Roman rule. In 285, the Emperor Diocletian took drastic steps to regain control. To make the empire easier to rule, he split it into two parts. He retained control of the wealthier eastern part and appointed a lower co-emperor to rule the western portion. Rome became two linked empires with two emperors and two armies. Diocletian's reforms worked in the short term, but the peace didn't last forever. By the 4th century, class struggles and political infighting again were tearing the empire apart. When General Constantine gained the throne in 312, he made one of the most important changes in Roman history. Recognizing that the major conflicts were occurring in the empire's frontiers, far from Italy, he decided to move the Roman capital eastward. He chose the city of Byzantium in modern-day Turkey and renamed it Constantinople. He legalized Christianity in 313, and the Eastern Roman Empire became the new center of Roman power, while the Western Empire continued to decline. Along with internal decline, the Western Empire also faced problems from the outside. For centuries, Rome's strength had allowed its soldiers to hold off attacks from the Germanic tribes around the empire. But at the same time Rome was declining, wars and climate changes in Asia caused the Huns, a fierce nomadic people, to migrate westward. By 350, the Huns had reached Eastern Europe. Fearing the Huns, the Germanic tribes in their path escaped by battling their way into Roman territory. The Western Roman Empire was overrun by wave after wave of hostile tribes, including Visigoths, Slavs, and Vandals. First, the Romans lost Britain, then Gaul, then Spain. It was only a matter of time before the Germanic tribes made their way into the heart of the Western Empire. In 410, the Visigoth general Alaric attacked Italy and made it all the way to Rome. The Western Empire struggled on until 476, when another Germanic tribal leader, Odoacer, finally ousted Rome's emperor and brought an end to the Western Roman Empire. While the Eastern Roman Empire would become the Byzantine Empire and continue for another 1,000 years, the great Roman Empire, that for centuries had controlled so much of the Western world, was gone.